My wife cheated on me with my boss, so I took revenge on them. It was a regular Monday when I found out. The kind of morning that starts like any other, with the usual hustle of getting ready for work, grabbing coffee, and heading out to my job at a mid-sized tech company. I never could have imagined how my world would completely unravel that day. My name is Daniel. I've been married to Claire for 5 years. We met when I first started working at the company, and our relationship blossomed quickly. She was a new hire, and we immediately hit it off. She was intelligent, beautiful, and funny. Everything I had ever hoped for in a partner. We got married within a year, and I honestly thought we were perfect for each other. We had similar ambitions, a shared vision of the future, and, most importantly, we trusted each other. But everything changed when she started spending more time at work. Claire had recently been promoted, and her new position demanded longer hours and more responsibilities. She had always been a driven person, but this was different. It seemed like every time I called her after work, she was either too busy or too tired to talk. At first, I brushed it off. She had a new role, and I understood that the transition might be tough. I didn't think much of it, but little did I know, this was the beginning of a slow but inevitable shift in our marriage. I remember the first time I noticed something was off. It was one late evening when I called her to ask if she wanted to have dinner together. She told me she was staying late at the office to finish a project with her boss, Mr. Bradley. I didn't think much of it. After all, I knew Bradley. He was charming, charismatic, and well-liked by everyone at the company. He had been a mentor to Claire when she first joined. He was always respectful, professional, and seemed like the kind of guy you could trust. Little did I know, he had a much darker side. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing small things. Claire came home late more frequently, and when she did, she was distant. Her excuses became increasingly flimsy. I had to stay late for a meeting, the project ran over time, or Bradley needed help with something urgent. The more I heard these excuses, the more my gut told me something wasn't right. But I didn't want to believe it. After all, she was my wife, the woman I had committed my life to. She wouldn't betray me. She couldn't. But then came the day I found the text message. I had gone to Claire's phone to check something. Stupid, I know, but I'd been feeling uneasy for weeks, and I saw it. A message from Bradley. It was a picture, a selfie of the two of them in a hotel room. They were close, laughing, and Claire was looking at him with a gaze I had never seen before. The text below it was even worse. I miss you. Can't wait to see you again tonight. Let's make it count. My heart dropped. Everything I had feared, everything I had tried to ignore, was staring me in the face. I stood there frozen, the phone in my hand shaking. I felt sick, betrayed. The world I had built with Claire suddenly felt like a lie. All the trust, all the love, was just a mask hiding the truth. She had been seeing him. Behind my back, in the most intimate way possible. I confronted her that night. The moment she walked through the door, I asked her about the messages. She tried to deny it at first, but the guilt was written all over her face. Her eyes couldn't meet mine. And when the truth finally came out, it was like a slap in the face. She admitted to the affair, but her explanation felt like nothing more than an excuse. I'm sorry, Daniel, she said, tears in her eyes. It just happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far, but Bradley, he made me feel special. I felt like I mattered to him. Her words stung. Every syllable felt like a betrayal. I had been there for her through everything. I had supported her when she faced challenges at work. I had celebrated her achievements. And this is what she did to me? She slept with my boss. The man who was supposed to be my superior, my mentor. I never wanted to hurt you, Claire continued. I love you, but I was lost. Bradley gave me the attention I wasn't getting from you. I thought you'd never understand. That was the moment I made my decision. I had always prided myself on being calm, collected, and rational. But now, that all went out the window. I wasn't going to sit around and let this slide. I had been humiliated, lied to, and betrayed. Claire didn't just cheat on me with some random guy. She did it with my boss, someone I trusted, someone who had been in my life for years. I wanted revenge, not just to get back at Claire, but to make sure both of them paid for what they had done to me. I knew that taking the high road would do nothing but let them get away with it. I had to hit them where it would hurt the most. I decided to take action in a way that would completely destroy them both. It wasn't about making them feel bad for a moment. It wasn't about making them cry. No, I wanted to ruin their lives, to show them the consequences of their actions. The first step was making sure that Claire's career at the company was over. She had been promoted to a managerial position recently, and I knew that if I played my cards right, I could take that away from her. I gathered all the evidence I had, texts, photos, and even voice recordings of her confessions, and went straight to our. I made sure they knew everything. I didn't just tell them she had cheated on me. I told them how she had done it with Bradley, how he had taken advantage of her position in the company, and how their affair had been going on for months. HR couldn't ignore that kind of evidence. They had no choice but to launch an investigation. It didn't take long for them to put her on administrative leave while they looked into the matter. The worst part for her? Bradley was also put under investigation for his role in the affair. The man who had held all the power over her career was now facing the consequences of his own actions. The second part of my revenge was targeting Bradley. I knew his professional reputation was the one thing he cared about, so I made sure to use his own secrets against him. I reached out to some of his business contacts and subtly planted rumors about his unprofessional behavior and lack of ethics. I made sure the right people knew about his affair with an employee. It wasn't long before whispers started to spread around the office. Bradley's career, much like Claire's, started to crumble. But I didn't stop there. I made sure Claire felt the weight of her actions, too. I moved out of the house that we had shared and took everything that was mine. I knew she would try to fight for it, but I didn't care. Let her have everything. She had destroyed everything I had ever built with her. Months went by, and it felt like I was watching two lives unravel before my eyes. Claire and Bradley were both in free fall. Neither of them had the power they once held, and their reputations were in tatters. They had lost everything, each other, their careers, and their dignity. And I couldn't help but feel a sick sense of satisfaction. They deserved it. They had brought this upon themselves. As for me, I moved on. Slowly but surely, I started rebuilding my life. I found a new job at a company where I was valued and respected. I focused on myself, on my career, and on the friendships I had let slip away while I was in that toxic relationship. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Claire tried to reach out to me after everything happened. She sent me messages, apologizing, begging for my forgiveness. But it was too late. I had already moved on. I told her once, and I'll say it again, I would never forgive her for what she did. Not just because of the affair, but because she betrayed everything we had built together. I helped her build a career, supported her, and loved her, and she threw it all away for some fleeting excitement. In the end, I took revenge on Claire and Bradley not because I wanted to get back at them. I did it because they needed to learn that actions have consequences. They destroyed me, so I made sure to destroy them right back. It wasn't a happy ending, but it was a just one. And I've never regretted it for a second.